All right. So, Jordan, good
Ooh.
afternoon. So, guys, we've had several people, Jordan, and we talked about this, wanted to know why do we have to come on 30 minutes before we go live? So, ordinarily, this part would not be live. We'd have them sitting here on camera like we are, and we'd be going through their questions they sent us and everything else. So, we thought we would talk to you guys a little bit about our show prep today. So, let me show them how this works. I'm going to go up here. We have an interface on my right that allows me to go into banners and set up questions. So, we'll do a couple of those. Jordan, good afternoon.
How's it going?
How's your day been, brother?
It's been good. It's been
Good.
fun. It's an editing day, so I've been editing a recent photo shoot, and it's always fun because you get to see
Yep.
what came out of the shoot, and you get to make everything look even better, and that's always a fun
Yeah.
experience.
So Jordan and I like to when we had a guest signed up, just so you know, today. They got super busy and asked if we could move them out till late October because we're booked all the way through late October right now. Um, so we thought this would be a good time to catch up some questions. And Jordan, I know you have some. We'll probably need to put them in the banner here. Let me get the questions set up for the live because we will go live at our normal time, if not a little bit earlier with our countdown stuff. But so why do they need to come on early? Is that something we could talk about?
Oh, definitely. Because we get one of those where they'll come in, and something like this.
I lost you.
So something like that can happen, or
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's happening. My camera's not working. Or my favorite, I can't hear you. I mean, I see you, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now?
Like, no idea. And then they turn up the volume. It was just like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah. So part of our show prep is making sure that when we're getting ready for a show is we test their kind of like make sure that they're not stuttering, buffering, they've got the volume. And we've been through that. And luckily, indeed we did that. So what I did was, guys, we just entered that question. We'll be able to add more questions we have today when we go live on the show. So also it's to loosen you up.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like cameras or they're nervous about being on. And how many times, Jordan, has somebody asked us, I'm really nervous about being on camera, and I got my notes, and I'll probably have to look down at them. We're like, okay, that's cool. We're glad you did that. So by telling jokes and loosening them up and asking them about family and all sorts of stuff, it really helps them get into the mode, and then we can start going through making sure the questions, the websites, we have the ability. And I'll put Jordan, do you have a website?
Yeah, it's under construction, but
yeah, enter in your banner. And because what we can do is we can set as many banners as we want to be on the bottom of the stream, which is really kind of cool. And while you're doing that, Jordan, I'll just tell them a little bit about what we have. A lot of people don't realize, and I'll go ahead and play some right now. We don't play it on the show, but before we start, we can. So while we're getting prepped for the show, a lot of times we'll have some music in the background that we turn off, even though it's YouTube authorized, because it comes from their audio library, and we're live on YouTube. So we have permission to use it. So we could play music like this while we're getting ready for the show to kind of get rid of everything. We have the ability to make that bubble. classic, minimal, black, whatever we want to do. Kind of like bubble.
Oh, that's nice.
It's all right. And then Jordan sits over there a lot of times and will mess with the backgrounds while I'm tasking on this end. So the reason there's two of us and that makes us for two hosts is he goes in and makes sure that we're setting up the recording for everybody. What a lot of people don't realize is when we have guests on, we can record each person. It's literally inside this virtual studio. We can get their audio and video recording, and it's also separated and it allows us to go in the back end of this server and keeps a library for us on their cloud. And then we can do a lot of editing, and we can do shorts and create AI shorts, our own shorts, and distribute them back out to the client. So the back end of this, what is your thoughts on this? You've always been pretty impressed with what you've seen so far.
Oh, I love it. It's a very fun interface, like all the little things we can do. We've just really started tapping into this. We have the video countdown, but we have the ability to put video into the stream. So I could see some cool potentials there. We have overlays as well.
Hold on.
A lot of families they're starting to feel the squeeze from corporate downsizing and just the higher cost of living. And you're right. It seems like they're not having these conversations at the kitchen table or in the living room. I noticed it seemed like sometimes some of the dads are trying to take care of things without notifying the family. They want to try to take care of everything and not alert everyone. But I think it's great to have that discussion as a family. And some of the challenges.
So we can do so. One of the other questions I got, Jordan, I'll load it in here for our show, is: are you guys planning on doing any sort of different new segments? So new segments. Like we were talking about one last week, right?
Yep.
You were smiling.
I was checking the comments. I think Roger was there.
Hey, I heard that guy before. So Roderick rules, and he's been on too. Matter of fact, Roderick, I think we just played your video. We just played your short to show people behind the scenes. So this is the other cool thing we can do. A lot of times, depending on our guest and how well they did getting their link out. By the way, and he's saying hi again. So we'll say hi back. Hi. So a lot of times, when they send out their we have the show ready to go live on Tuesday. So the link's provided on YouTube. So what happens is I send that to the client that's going to be on with us live on Thursday. They have the opportunity to send that out to all their social media, Facebook, whatever. And that link, people can click on the link, go to YouTube, and click notify, so that when this time comes for us to go live at 2, they're on. Right. And so depending on how good their audience is, we've had some shows where we've had a lot of chatters, and I literally had to go up and keep flipping through them to get them on to the pre-show. So, get them up on the live show. So we'll encourage people to chat with us during it, because there's two of us and we can always catch the chats at the top and then add them in as questions. So if you have, like, for instance, if Roderick is still listening right now, which he better be, Roderick, why don't you give us a question to ask at live when we do the countdown and go live here in a little bit. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments and we'll put them up on the screen. So what about segments, Jordan? Remember we talked a little bit about one last week by maybe coming up with a little 20 seconds that says icebreaker, and we throw some stupid questions at our guests that they're not prepared for, like their band. their favorite, what high school car, all sorts of different. We can look up stupid questions to ask guests on, from probably AI, and just list them out there and throw them out there to our guests. And then I like to previously, we've been talking about taking one of the shorts like I just played from the previous week for this week's show and putting it up right at the beginning saying, and before we get started, previously, and I might get us to record that, Jordan, on audio. The other thing is I don't know what, Jordan, what camera are you using on your end for your live?
Oh, this is the camera that comes with the Apple display.
Okay.
And it follows me around because it's what's it called? A center stage.
Yeah, because it moves like it follows your motion, right?
Well, it appears to do that, actually. Here, let me show you, since we're doing the backstage show.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
This is the stationary shot. What it does is just zooms in. And it's just it's basically a crop. So it's just following me around.
I love that. So when you get up and move, it's going to follow you around. Whereas if I want to escape from mine, I can, because mine doesn't do that. But to show you how how do I explain the prep part? I use the standard air hug camera instead of my webcam, right? Built into my laptop. I've got an air hug, simple cam. And a lot of people ask me, how do y'all do this? So there's a question. So how is it you're able to stream to YouTube? Can you put that in, or how were you able to stream? By the way, if Facebook, we're going to talk about that, how we're going to solve that problem. That's not really a problem. It's a Hurdie problem, because Hurdie hadn't had time to get to it and put the stream key in. But we can stream from this server. We're allowed to stream to 3 live destinations simultaneous. So Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn even, which may be not a bad idea, because I already have authorization to stream using a third party. And StreamYard, who we use, is we have it as a branded account, but who we use is one of the third party stream servers that's allowed to attach to a LinkedIn application if you get approved from LinkedIn to broadcast on their channel. So if you have a LinkedIn account, and you want to broadcast, you need to go over to LinkedIn and go through settings and apply to be able to stream live on their platform. Unless that's changed, Microsoft may have changed, but that's the way it used to be. You had to get permission first. And you had to use a third-party stream server, and there's a list of the ones they accept. So that's part of the prep here, too.
And that's which way do I point? This way. There, that's the service we use. StreamYard.
Yeah, and they're really good because they don't charge a lot. You get hi everyone. Harry Grant just said hi. So let's say hey. Harry's going to be on here in a couple of weeks, and we're excited to have him on. So Harry, you're getting a feel for what this prep will be like for you, except it won't be live. We won't be live till 2 when you're on. We'll be going through this same process, getting your questions loaded. And by the way, just so everybody knows, before I load all the questions, I usually have those loaded before the live broadcast, because I get those questions directly from the person that we're interviewing, forwards us the questions. So here's Roderick's question. Once you go live, are we able to post the QR code on X, formerly Twitter and Threads? I'm not sure what he's asking, but if he wants to know if he can copy the YouTube link, that's a good question. You know what? I'm not really sure, because it's pretty exclusive to YouTube. We could share the link over.
You can share the link on X, on Twitter and on Threads as well, which will, link you to YouTube to see the live broadcast.
Right. Yeah, but you have to use
live streaming on X. I'm sure. I think it may be possible. I'm not.
We can. I could. Yeah, we can go to that destination if we wanted to. I just haven't seen the kind of folks that that we have more of a chance at a good audience, business owners on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, probably more than X. But both are powerful. It just depends what we want to do it. Good question. And Harry says, yeah, yes, sir. Looking forward to his broadcast. So, and there we just made you famous, Harry Grant. I like that name, Harry Grant. And the beauty of this is I don't have to. There's not a lot for us we have to do. The chat shows up in our right-hand administrative column, and it says comments, and it highlights them. So all I have to do is click it to show them on the main page. So awesome. That's good to know. Yes. So right now, Roderick, what you could do is your archive show is on this channel. You could go copy the link and put it on all those social media platforms, and it will automatically link back to YouTube. But you'll get credit for the link on your social media. So you should be posting your broadcast out all over. It helps our traffic. Okay, so the next question, Jordan, can you enter this in? And that is, how do we build our traffic? And we'll answer that on the live show. I'm getting ready to look at the banners over here. Oh yeah, we're getting some good questions.
One thing we can talk about too, because I know not everybody is familiar with this, is the string keys and what that is.
Put it down. Yeah. That's a good question. For us on YouTube, yeah, we'll describe that on the show. That could be a lengthy conversation. Oh, and somebody asked me last week that was interested in starting a podcast, if they were to use StreamYard and go live on their YouTube channel, what is the stipulations? And I'll tell them that rule on the live show. So a question could be, can I go live on YouTube? Yes, with a little bit of, hold on.
With an asterisk.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll answer that. So live YouTube. Just cool. All right.
And from what I understand, StreamYard has different membership tiers, correct?
What's that?
StreamYard has different membership tiers.
Yes, they have the free, and that's pretty decent. That's a good way to get started because it still archives and does some of the same things we're doing. The 25 package gives you a little bit better tool sources. I know you want to experiment with 1080. We're going to talk about that, but the problem is we're virtual, and we have to make sure that we don't kill our bandwidth when we have X amount of people coming in over that, because it's a larger file being presented out through the internet pipe. So, and that might be a good question, is what happens when it buffers and we go away? We've had that happen. We just keep talking. They can come right back in. It happens. We can't control everybody's bandwidth, and that's another reason why a lot of people like to be in studio, real sophisticated high-end studio, like what Bryce and them use over at 063, Steve down at Podcast Mansfield. He they have everything. Guests come in and they monitor all that and take care of all that through the heavier bandwidth and server farm. We're different. We'll talk about that. Cool. We're getting there. Live on YouTube. Thanks for the comments, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He says, awesome, good to know. But yeah, share out your past broadcasts. So new segments. Jordan's creative, by the way. So the cool thing is Jordan comes, this background you see created, and you'll see the countdown version when we go live. Are we ready to go live?
I think we're theoretically live.
I mean, do you want to? I mean, we can jump in and we got enough questions.
Early start?
Yeah, no, hold it. Let me go back in and turn off some stuff here. Yeah, you tell me. Hold on a sec. Let me turn off the music. We had a little background music playing. All right, that's paused. Welcome to Mansfield Buzz.
Hit it.
Hit it, baby. Hey everybody, welcome to the Mansfield Buzz. It's Thursday, almost 2 o'clock. We did a little pre-show live today, so we went from live to live. Get it? Anyhow, so our host, Jordan, sitting over here, Hurdie, and we want to direct you guys first to let you know we are on YouTube streaming live. It's www.youtube.com at mansfieldtx.buzz. Please share that. Please go subscribe. Please hit that little notification bell and go back and check out some of our awesome guests we've had in the past. All the businesses located in Mansfield, Texas, and around the surrounding area. And Jordan, welcome to Mansfield Buzz Live today.
Thank you. Excited to have our little talk show today.
It's me and you.
Yeah.
We just want to let everybody know that one of our guests, they got overwhelmed with some business. Oh, we need sound effects. That's what I was going to talk about today. I have some. I got some. We'll talk about that.
I got a lot too.
I got some, but not today. I'm going to have to preload them. All right. So that guest got really busy, so we moved them to late October. But just to continue to catch you guys up a little bit on the Mansfield Buzz, we cover the local business around Mansfield and surrounding communities. We are doing, I think, okay. I've been diving more into the analytics, and I'm seeing some things we could probably improve on. But the bottom line is Google's pretty happy with the channel from the sense that we're, at 61 subscribers now. We're still over 6,000, going on 7,000 views. And we're around anywhere from 35 to 47 watch time hours in a 28-day period. So we're growing, but there's a lot more to do. So, okay. So Jordan, let me just throw this up real quick because you'll understand why this is here. So we have a lot of people wanting to sign up still, Jordan. And I don't have time to really manage the calendar thing you put together. I love it, but it's just the dates change so much it just gets confusing for folks. So real simple. People ask me all the time, how do we get on your show? And you can, Jordan, if you want to put your email in a banner, you're welcome to do so too and share it. But if you just want to send me and say, we would like to be on the Mansfield Buzz, Hurdie at hurdieburk.com. We'll put that in the description in YouTube once the live show's over. But you guys can inquire there too. If you have questions, just want to ask a question about it, send that on. I'll answer it there, but just send it to that email right there. And good. Yay. All right, Jordan. So what are we going to talk about today?
So we have a few questions that, people have given us. We gave a little preview of this. So we did a live pre-show, but no one is like, what do we need to be on so early? And, because I don't know if people know this, we go live at 2, but guests come in at 1:30. So can you show them
Can you show them the examples of why we want them on, like you did earlier?
Yes, because actually this happened to me just a second ago. Things can go crazy. Sometimes this user error, like I might accidentally just turn the volume down, put it on mute, and now doesn't matter what Hurdie says, y'all might be able to hear him, but I have no idea what he's saying. To me, it's just
Right.
which I don't know if he's just mouthing it or actually saying because I have no idea. So that has happened before. Sometimes it's an audio issue.
Yeah.
Then there's browser compatibility issues. So sometimes you'll try to log into StreamYard through Safari, and StreamYard will tell you, we don't like Safari. Please log in on Chrome. And sometimes guests don't even have Chrome downloaded, so they have to go download the browser, and obviously that takes time. We've had, what else have we had? We've had paintings fall off the wall.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I remember that. We actually had a client right before we went live. The painting literally behind them, the picture fell off the wall. Boom. And we thought, darn, we wish that had been live.
Yes. We'd have proof.
Stupid things happen live. Just so you know, it's pretty funny actually. And the cool thing about it is we're relaxed through it. I don't think we give a rip. The way we're set up is we're not panicked if little things go wrong. Matter of fact, we've actually had a guest before their bandwidth got really tight. Matter of fact, the thing is Roderick, who was on earlier, and there's another.
It was Roderick because he was answering a question.
Completely away and froze up. So Jordan and I just took over and started talking about things, and he eventually clicked back in on the link, and we added him back to the stream. So
I have to say I like that because I can't remember what the question specifically was, but it was something that we did not have any clue what it was.
Yeah.
So we started trying to guess what the correct answer was. Roger came back on to show just how little we knew about it because everything we guessed was wrong.
And he said, and Harry Grant has a question, is StreamYard like Vimeo? And I'll let you start on that, Jordan, if you want, and I'll put Roderick's question up. Yes, it was me. Yes, it was.
That was pretty good. So is StreamYard like Vimeo? I'll hop on that. No, it's different. StreamYard is, they both use video, so in that regard, they're similar. But StreamYard is more about taking video and just showing it to a big audience and doing it live. So like right now we're live and we're getting the questions in live. So that's how this platform works. Vimeo, the best way to think about it is kind of like YouTube. It's a video hosting website. Vimeo is more of a more upscale version of YouTube. So particularly for people that want to have like high quality video, Vimeo is where you go there because it will preserve. It gets a little technical, but it's got a higher bit rate that it can hold. Your video will have more detail, have more frames. It'll be smoother, it'll look better, more color. Like it's just more. It's got more resources dedicated to video. It's also nowhere near as big as YouTube, so that's why it can handle more. I just had buffering. This is the first time I've had buffering issues. That's interesting.
Really, I didn't see it.
I just saw myself froze. But as we said, every time we do that, we just keep talking like nothing happened.
Yeah, and we understand that. And this is, by the way, just so people know, live can happen to anybody. It can be a perfect setup stream, right? And it can have plenty of bandwidth on all sides, and it can still have its problems. Can you use it for Roku? What services can you use it for? Okay, so now you're getting into some deep stuff. So let me look at it this way. Let's say you have a big screen TV and you have Roku. Go to the YouTube app right now and turn it on and watch us live. Go to the Mansfield Buzz and watch us on big screen TV live. We're there right now. Can I go back and add this stream to one of the movie channels like Tubi or even Plex TV? The answer is yes. I can take any video library and upload it back to a platform that has an app on the smart TV, and it can play. You can have your own channel within a channel. Yes. So live streaming from StreamYard, though, allows to some basic video platforms like YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. And
So
Facebook.
a more technical way to go about it is to send the live stream. Yeah, so somebody can receive this live. It needs to be a platform that has stream keys available.
Right.
And for those of you that don't know what that is, Hurdie, please educate us. What are stream keys?
All right. So every YouTube has a stream key, right? But the software, the server we're using automatically incorporates that into the destination. So all I have to do in this case is go to YouTube, copy my URL, enter it into a destination with StreamYard, and it automatically captures that information. Okay. If I go over to Facebook, because they've eliminated the apps that used to, third-party apps that used to be connected to Facebook, I would now have to go copy the stream key and do a manual load of that back into the setup to stream live back to the Facebook page. So the stream key gets entered into the key on StreamYard, and then StreamYard says, okay, and then they marry each other. Okay, so that's a simple way to put it. So the stream key is the official key to get into Facebook and be live. And it's manual now. So I haven't done it yet because I'm also trying to figure out a way to OBS Studio, which I don't want to get too technical, is an open source code for streaming. And you'll see it a lot on YouTube with storm chasers, people doing their own news channels where they'll have tickers and video, and they'll have all their scenes set up. We have the ability to incorporate that into this, but I wanted to keep it really simple from the standpoint of our role is to highlight our guests, period. And to give them a nice little piece of infomercial or whatever you want to call it that they can push back out to build their clientele and potential customers. So it gives them a little sizzle. So that's what a stream key is is like key to a door to a house.
Yeah,
it gives you the key.
And again, it's to put it in layman terms, because I'm definitely layman when it comes to stuff like this.
Starts the car.
Yeah, it's a handshake, right? So
exactly what it is. Yeah.
It's a video, goes over to YouTube and goes like, hey, I got this video. I said, okay to give it to you. And then YouTube goes, yes, it's okay. And YouTube takes the video and then puts it on his live platform. So apps that have the going live capability have that stream key, which is essentially the handshake. And then depending on which kind of membership you have with StreamYard, you can send to multiple destinations. And then that way you have one source of video, which is StreamYard, and then you're sending it to, you could potentially be sending it to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all the live video streaming services.
And when you get really deep into live streaming from my past days, right, where you have encoders sitting, next to switcher boards and stuff, right? So you can actually broadcast out to live TV, right? That's some of the live streams you see that are on TV today are going through these sophisticated encoders. Then they can pick several destinations, and so the bit rate gets to those different locations accordingly how it's presented, and it's come a long way.
Well, that's sophisticated to be doing that live. I don't know if people know this, but video online handles completely different than video on broadcast. So the way the color works, the way the frames work, everything about it works in a completely different way. Yeah. So those would actually have to actively be translating the video from the input, which would be web, right, to put it out on broadcast, which, that's a lot of computing. That's
IP versus microwave or wave, broadcast tower to tower, right? So but the thing I like to tell folks is the fact we're sitting here today in 2023 able to do this and have automated things like this. I remember way back in 2002 when we were experimenting with streaming before they even had bandwidth in the ground. It was unheard of. We could barely get a 240 by 340 thumbnail to an end user. So this really, and the cool thing is, people that have something to say, I'm talking about experts in their field. Man, they should be using a tool like this, because this is a voice.
Mm-hmm.
This gets you into the game.
Yep. And I think what you should do is come on the show and get a little taste of what it is to speak on a live platform, and get used to hearing the sound of your own voice, which, I mean, it seems like I'm joking, but it's difficult. But
Yes.
being in a setting where somebody's asking you questions, you're having a little bit of an interaction, you'll notice that it's not that hard to speak what you know, and you know more than you think you know. And that will allow you to just sort of get like past that hump, and then just get more used to speaking in your area of expertise, and then just share that knowledge, because it's huge. It's a huge value promoting tool. It helps everybody because you're providing, free information that can help somebody, and it's also upping your credibility as a expert. And also, I mean, it's just a trust factor, right? Like, you're giving away information, so you obviously know what you're talking about, and people will look for you because of that trust factor.
Yeah, and great point, Jordan. And I couldn't agree with you more. That it can be about hobbies too, and then you can build your business around just giving people fun things to talk about. I know a lot of people have done really well on YouTube simply reviewing products.
Yeah.
Right? They buy something and they ungift it and they unbox it and they talk about it and how it works. And I can't tell you how many products I've ordered because somebody took me through a tutorial on something I wasn't sure how it worked, and they went through each step, ungifted it, unboxed it, showed all the pieces and parts, and especially cameras. Like, you can look at every piece of them today, stuff like that. So there's all sorts of stuff you could do, all sorts of stuff.
I'll go even further than that. I mean, sometimes your purchasing decision is depending on how big of the community support there is. So if I'm like between two similar items and one has a lot more documentation on YouTube, I'll go for that one.
Yeah, exactly. And us techie guys, we like our notes, and we like to see tutorials because it helps us. I can't tell you how many times I've watched live streams, and it's becoming so popular. It's dominating the podcast world. I don't care if you use YouTube, Rumble, Vimeo through live stream, right? Some of these other live stream services that connect to all these different video platforms. You're going to see more and more of this type of technology being used. People breaking in with cool ideas to stream. For us, it's covering local business. We just want to give them a voice, and it helps our business because we have fun doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we're talking about it, and I'm sure we've got people wanting to do this, let's say somebody creates their YouTube channel, they're getting ready to stream, they create an account with StreamYard, which, by the way, StreamYard makes it super easy to connect YouTube and StreamYard together.
Absolutely.
On the contrary, doing it with Facebook is really complicated. Complete opposite with YouTube. It's like click a button.
Used to be easy.
And then you're good. But once they have created this and they're starting to record their content, Hurdie, you're the YouTube expert. How do they build their traffic?
Well, let's use our case, because I think it's important for the people that have been on with us to understand that I could spend hours and hours marketing this. I could spend all day creating new shorts, putting them up, throwing them out there. But the whole idea is that we're providing the platform with their 10 questions that they want us to ask. We provide that platform. So how do we build traffic? Let's start there. By giving them shorts and giving them access to the links to their finalized, optimized YouTube. After this is over, we go in and optimize everything. They should be sharing their links out to everybody, because if they don't like it, then they need to tell us, and or we can create some other shorts for them, and we have outsourced companies. We have DFW Film Crew. We could use Steve for audio at Mansfield Podcast. And I told a lot of my clients, take the questions you've asked. We give you the audio version and the video version. If you want to take it somewhere and edit those questions, those 10 questions, and separate out us from the recording, you have your own voice and have those edited and strung together. And there's plenty of services to do that. So you build your traffic by sharing.
Definitely. Now we have
by putting it on your other platforms where your people are looking for your type of service.
Yeah.
So
there's a good question right here. Is there a delay so there can be an opportunity to take up bloopers in that live event?
In radio days, yes.
Live. There is not a buffer like if it,
we don't have a delay button like you do in radio.
Yeah, it goes live. However, this is, or live numbers is not that big. So it's not like broadcasting to millions of people. Most of the views come in from the archive show. Once it goes live, it gets archived and then gets placed in the channel. That's the link that you get to share because that will just live in the YouTube. It'll just live on YouTube. That one we can edit to cut out anything that, might be awkward. A lot of the times it's buffering issues, right? Somebody will be talking and mid-sentence, they just... And they keep talking. Okay. Yeah. We can totally take that out.
So let's use Roderick again. So Roderick went completely away. And so there was like 2 minutes where Jordan and I were talking to fill in the space on a previous question. So what I did on that particular live stream was rather than just optimize it from the YouTube channel and just re-upload it, I actually downloaded it, edited out that whole section, edited, and then reloaded it to YouTube and put it into the playlist. So yes, we can work around something like that goes disastrously wrong and somebody just disappears like Casper. Okay, where'd they go?
We also take a extra precaution. So whenever we're doing this live show, we enable localized recording, which that means is my computer right now, it's recording my camera and what I'm saying. Hurdie's computer is recording his camera and what he's saying. Whoever the guest is, their computer would be recording what they're saying and their video, and all that gets uploaded separately as well. So for some reason there's like a buffering issue, and let's say it's the guest, and your internet does something funky. So then your signal doesn't get to us clean. So in the live show, you just cut out a lot. We still have your recording from your computer that will come up and it'll come out clean because there's no, it's on your computer. Right?
And that's a real good explanation, Jordan. And that is an awesome feature because it helps to know you've got a backup no matter what happens. So there can always be, and don't let anybody fool you, I don't care who you are in the streaming industry, there's always can be live issues. You're depending on bandwidth, you're depending on time of day, you're depending on traffic, you're depending on a lot of things that can affect a live stream. A connection could go bad on a server, a simple overwhelming amount of people hitting their server at the same time. There's all sorts of things can cause it, and it may not have anything to do with how you're set up. It could be something external. Mm-hmm. So anytime you're on live, you're taking a risk of having something happen, but it's so much fun.
It is. It's nice. And coming from somebody I've never done this before, it's at first it's so stressful because you're doing
great, man.
I can't mess up, and it's actually really, it's not a big deal. It is much more, you're under a lot more stress getting up at the Mansfield networking event and speaking to that small group of people than it is to sit here and just speak live on the internet.
Yeah, because you're talking kind of like you don't see the audience out in front of you, right? So let's talk about segments. So I've had quite a few people say, well, you get on, you do your little 30-second thing. Have you guys got plans for like throwing up? Well, let me just show you again if you missed the prep show. So I'm going to go over here to videos and show you that we could say, let's say we start up the show with the Mansfield Buzz intro, and then we say, somebody says previously on Mansfield Buzz.
A lot of families they're starting to feel the squeeze from corporate downsizing and just the higher cost of living.
I can upload any video I want and play it at any time on this. I think some of the other segments Jordan and I are talking about is coming up with other little graphics we can throw up and call it something, and then surprise our guests with some fun questions, right? So we're thinking into this. But again, the whole goal was to get the YouTube channel launched and start building the traffic to it, and then figure out, really, we have a strategy, but we want to make sure we're uh, sticking to what the purpose was, and that was to give a voice to a small business owner uh, that doesn't get to say what they need to say in 30 seconds in a network group.
Mm-hmm.
They can their questions that they get frequently asked, and then they get it documented in video, audio, which is really cool.
And it's not just the video and audio component too. Which it took me a second to just realize like where the like real value lies to what we're doing, but it's having it in a conversation format, right? It's not you standing in front of a room and just trying to like just pitch your business, your idea. It's having it in a conversation, let it come out organically. We do our best to get you comfortable, and that's why you come in 30 minutes early, because it's about just getting you relaxed, and that way you're able to just communicate in a more casual conversation, which is, we get that feedback a lot. It feels like a casual conversation, and it's by design. We want you to be comfortable and be able to talk about what you do, why you do it, why are you so passionate about it, and that way you can get across what is it that you do in a more authentic way.
And Jordan, I will say the other cool thing about this is Harry Grant, who's going to be on soon, in a month or so or a couple of weeks, will be bringing in one of his other folks from the business, right? And so one of the questions I got the other day was, well, how many people can you handle on a live stream? So let's separate that. If a YouTube link goes out that we've given you for your people to watch the live stream, that's unlimited on YouTube. We can take up to 10 people on this stream right here. So it would look a lot, if you've been on a Zoom channel before where you have lots of thumbnails, we could take up to 10. But we have taken up to 4 guests, 5 guests, Jordan, right? And so all we need is their email. And when I send you the information prior to the week of us going live, you have everything in your hands. We have everything loaded to go the Monday before the Thursday broadcast. I will have all those emails, and it's simply the morning of, I send you those direct links to enter our studio at 1:30. And that's all you have to do is click it. So it doesn't matter where they're at. Doesn't matter if they're in Dallas. Doesn't matter if they're in downtown Fort Worth. As long as they've got bandwidth, all they have to do is click on it, and we add them into the studio, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love those multi guest shows. They're very dynamic.
Yeah, and I always say, if you can bring on, we've done a dual stream where we had 2 different name companies, but they had merged and they kept both their names, right? One was this, one was this, and they were both on at the same time. And even though they were different names of companies, they were still owned by one owner. So the cool thing is we were able to interview, which I didn't know how that was going to go the original time we did it, but it was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun and like very informative. I walked out of there with a list of things I need to check. It's like, oh man, this is good to know.
And that's another extremely good part about this. We get lots of, at least I do, and I think Jordan, you do too. We get comments a lot at the Mansfield Network group that somebody says, I had one person, we got another comment. Let me bring it up there. I had one person tell me that as soon as the show was over, they got orders. And so it's nice to know that people are coming up to us and saying, hey, because this information is out there, people have told me they really enjoyed the education they received from listening to the podcast. And being on demand means they can go back and share it again and again and again. Okay, so we're getting loaded up on chat here today. So yes, so she is accomplished financial service. So Harry's telling me this is going to be the CFO for their regional account firms is going to be on with us. So that's going to be interesting. Talking about being able to pick their brain, that'll be really cool. And so he says, do you edit your own videos or do you use a service?
We edit our own video. We do use a service. We do use a service that comes with StreamYard where it actually does. AI will go through it and try to pull out a clip. However, it's hit or miss. Sometimes it does a great job, and sometimes it has no idea, and it just talks about something random.
And I actually go back and create one cool short that attaches to the long version. So if you go to Mansfield Buzz and look at the YouTube channel when we're done here, you'll see a shorts list. And when that shorts finishes playing, it automatically gives you a link to the long version. So it's a teaser that I pull specifically out of the transcription. And by the way, all the videos do have transcription in our library. So we can go word for word on creating shorts. The problem is that for what we charge,
Yeah.
that we don't want to be overwhelmed with this being our business. We just want to give you guys links to stuff and let you share it out and build the traffic. And then if you really want to get something done editing wise, we can give you the audio and video, and I can send you to 2 people in town right now that have equipment that can make you rock. Okay. Steve over at Podcast Mansfield, Bryce and them over at 063 Studio would love to, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but that's kind of their gig. And they could even set you up to advertise with them on some stuff too. So, I mean, we're in this all together. People ask me all the time, well, are you upset? What about what? we're 3 different things. We are here catering to the small business and just simply want to give them a voice. We're not into the big. Listen, OS63 Studio puts on a heck of a show. They do a lot. They have their own podcast rooms for sophisticated podcasts. They have Steve over does some work for them. He's at Mansfield Podcast. He has like an AM type of. He has a huge radio background and does some cool things. So we're all partners in this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can get. We would prefer not to edit, but if you pay us $1 billion, we will be happy to.
I love it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't pass it up.
That's a good one. I hope that
I don't think you feel the same way, right? That we're in this in our own little niche, correct?
Oh yeah.
Jordan?
I mean, this is low barrier of entry. The whole point of this is to get you in front of a camera, recording your message, and getting you a way to give your longer than 30-second speech. I mean, this is not a full-fledged podcast production in a studio. Like,
no,
that's more expensive.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
I mean, it's for me. Everybody asks me, why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you take 2 hours on your Thursday afternoon and take the time to get questions from clients or from people and do this? And the simple answer is, it's about brand and business, right? I do it because it's fun and I've loved it. I've always been live streaming since 2001. I've never gotten it out of my blood. It's just too fun to be around this technology, and I just love it. But secondly, it builds a little bit about that we know what we're doing online. And people tend to hire people that have skills and experience of how to handle their business online. So it brings a little credibility to both of us because we're both in this field. And even Jordan, more on the video side. I'm a consultant, and he actually does video, high-end video photography and video for clients. It's a perfect match. And I love this quote down here. Did you just see this chat?
Yeah. I hope that AI is not like my dystopian passive aggressive Alexa.
Alexa, stop the notifications, please. Thank you. Yeah, and it just said, and Alexa just said, "Okay," behind me. Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. So anyhow, Harry says, "Thanks for what you're doing. Thanks for all the resources." Well, hey, we're one of many, and we're just glad we can. The fact that you guys have shown enough confidence to book us for all the way through the end of October, and now we're looking for seasonal businesses. We want to give them a good jump start going into the holiday season. So, um, you know, if you're any kind of business that really needs that punch at Christmas, Thanksgiving, I really want to get on somebody that does Halloween stuff. Like I'd like to get Halloween costume person on and do some switch out costumes live.
That would be fun.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll invite just people to come on with their Halloween costumes and send them out links and say, okay, you've got to jump on and show us your costume. That would be fun. So that's the kind of stuff we can do. All right, Jordan, what do you think?
I have a good one. What?
So we've had a bunch of comments today. We appreciate that, and it always makes our show a lot more fun. And that's why I tell people when we send out your YouTube link for your show on the Thursday coming up, be sure to send out that link to some of your friends because they can come on while you're on and chat just like you're doing with us. So that's really cool. I do think one thing I've discovered today, because we've been on 56 minutes now, what I'm to have discovered, and I'm just telling everybody this from a technical standpoint, it does seem like after a certain amount of time that that the stream degrades a little bit. Now, even though our bandwidth's really good, I have a full gig here. It just seems like maybe their servers might have to throttle back because of the time of day or something. So, but yeah, it still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, my man?
Yeah, since we're both here. We both know the digital social outlets. I think it'd be we could leave everybody with a little bit of advice, because since we're heading to, we're open in all the way up to October, which is putting us in Q4, and Q4 is a big deal, right? So for small businesses out there, and this is actually something we can pull, talking about like extracting shorts from this. We can extract a short from this to share on our Mansfield networking group. What advice do we have for preparing for Q4?
Say that again. You did actually freeze.
What advice do we have for preparing for Q4? That's October, November, December. Those 3 months are the largest shopping months of the year. So in a YouTube and Google space, what is something that a business can do to prepare to just capitalize on that last segment?
I people may disagree with me, but one thing that's really hot on YouTube is shorts. I mean, if you unboxing something that is something you're offering would be really cool. Just kind of going through the details of it, how something was made, if it's something you sell and it's a product line. Yvonne could show off her edible ink printer, is how cool it works and prints a cookie just to get people interested in the cookie side of it. You could do something like that. But a lot of your top questions you could ask around the holidays, you could put into you could put in shorts. You can build traffic on your channel by maybe doing a time lapse of putting your Christmas tree up, where you set up a camera and just do a time lapse on your phone, or there's all sorts of fun things you can do to build traffic that don't necessarily mean today I'm going to talk about what we do with our business. It could be really some fun stuff, right? unboxing. If you have special products, show them. If you have merchant stores, you need to hire somebody that knows how to do merchant stores because I'm telling you what, Google's in the space, Spotify's in, Spot is in the space, GoDaddy. I mean, and they're all messed up. They're all confused. And so, now's the time to start addressing those issues. So, shorts are getting all the traffic. Long plays fine too, but you got to have a mix.
Mhm.
And if you're a business, think of it this way: your people that sell the same thing as you are already out there doing it.
Yep. And the bigger businesses are doing it, right? So that's one important
They've
thing.
learned, and they're advertising, Jordan, just to people that are more. You've been in the agency world, you can answer this better than me. But what I've noticed is that the same TV commercial is a different type of commercial on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's rigged different.
Yeah.
It looks different. It's set up different. It caters different. It's still got the product, but it's a whole different way it's presented.
When I was working in the agency side but this has been for everybody, but most recently Old Navy, what we shot and the way we planned into the productions for the videos that were going to be promoted on social, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those, it was a completely separate plan in production than what was shown on broadcast. And it was different pacing, different story, different way approaching it, because it's done very differently. And those big companies are doing it by design, being very purposeful about how they're speaking about their products. So that is absolutely correct.
Yeah, and I would say purposeful content, but I would have some fun. Everybody's so tight right now, and people are looking for outlets, man. Have some fun. If you're shooting videos, shoot your Christmas tree, shoot your Halloween costumes, be talking about Thanksgiving and what you plan on making. Have some fun. People love the story stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories don't always have to be about business. The stories could be, in the day in the life of Jordan, or some cool thing I like to do every day. Or, the idea is you're out there, you're kind of building awareness about yourself through publishing, but not in an egotistical way, but just in a fun way. This is something you might like to see. Whatever, dog walking. I can think of 50 million things that if I had time, I could go shoot videos on, right? that would just be great shorts for my channel that had nothing to do with business.
Yeah. Now, from my strategy side, when it comes to creative, what I would recommend people for Q4 is to start thinking about stories that you can tell, as Hurdie just recommended, that are product or service adjacent. What I mean by that is things that you can share that are not directly related to your product. So you're not just selling what your product or service, but your story is adjacent to that. So if you are like, I don't know, give me an example of a product or service.
Well, okay. So back in the days, we did a Jerry's Garage down Round Rock. They had a nice looking woman mechanic. And so what she did is she parked the car in a garage, and she put white paper on it because it had some leaks. And so she had plastic cups set up on a table, and she had all these different colored liquids, and she explained which leak this color was so that people in their garage can identify if that was pink, or if that was blue, or if that was this color. That's the kind of leak they had. And we showed them how to put paper into their car at night to see where the leak was coming from. So she was identifying all these different fluids that came from underneath the car in cups and then show them where to put the paper in their garage so that if they got a call, they could find out where's the paper at and what color is it, and let's set an appointment. Really cool. Didn't sell a thing. Just basically we're educating people on the fluids that was laying on their garage floor.
Exactly, because you're giving a service. It's informational, it's entertaining, you learn something new. But once you identify the leak, you're either going to fix it yourself or you're going to take it to a mechanic. So that is the subtlety. That's a great example. That is the subtlety of content creation.
Yeah, and I can just think of tons of things that you could do without selling. And I think this is where a business that's been around for a long time, you can see the differences in the maturity of a business based on the kind of content they're posting. I know where a company is, Jordan, based on what they're posting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean it's a very great point, because nowadays what do? Right? We Google a company, we check out their website, we check out their Facebook, we check out their Instagram, we check out their YouTube, we check out whatever social media presence we can find. And isn't that listed now on Google My Business?
Yeah, and I was thinking about some stuff here from the past of what I've seen, but I will tell people that my biggest bugaboo is that it's not purposeful. It's not thought out. You know, it's what I call desperation selling. And it's so obvious because it shows up in social media so quickly. And if anybody is ever a Reddit user, go to Reddit and find out what happens if you try to sell to a group on there. Knock yourself out.
Oh my God!
Go try to sell something on Reddit.
Yeah.
My point about that is that people are looking for information more than ever today. Yeah. And you know what? I think the web 4.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it, is turning into, with AI, is turning into a conversation. It's turning into a conversation. It's not always about service or this or that. It's conversations and stories. And that's what I'm starting to focus on content-wise, because that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation here. People would like this better than us selling our product.
Yeah.
What do you do, Hurdie? Well, who cares?
Yeah. Let me give you some advice instead.
So I think Q4, we got all sorts of stuff, big stuff coming up this year. You know, we got elections, we got people trying to figure out what their future looks like. We've got businesses deciding whether to keep their doors open or close them. We got all sorts of issues. And so the small businesses that we work with, Jordan, you know, they need direction, they need guidance, and so do we. You know, people think just because we're in marketing, and I tell this to my clients all the time, don't be fooled. I'm always looking down the road too.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I have to keep up with what it is that needs to be done on my business also, because, you know, and this is what helps me with you guys, because I get to experiment with a few things before I start recommending it. So just Q4.
Yeah.
Do you divide your years into quarters? I kind of do.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of I guess legacy, right? Working in the agency world, everything is Q1, Q2, Q3.
It is. And it's a good way to have realistic goals too, because if you set them for a year, you know, you're bound not to accomplish them. But if you set them in 3-month increments or 30-day increments, and you actually have strategies to finish them, you've got a better chance of accomplishing what you're doing. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay. Yeah. By the way, I put your website up.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. It's still under construction. I'm building it. So right now,
that's cool though.
You get an under construction landing page, but I'm pretty excited. It's one of those things like you work, what is it, like work on the business instead of in your business?
Yeah. So if you're working on your business or in your business, you're doing the right things. If you're working on it, right, that means you're working around the peripheral and you're not ever working in the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always get confused about the in and on in that. I just like to tell people, hey, pay attention to your business first, period.
Yeah. Which I've been taking care of. I've been taking care of that. It's been fun to get back on my web designer role. It's something I haven't done in a while, and it's
Really enjoying that, huh? Good. Well, we're two folks that enjoy doing this. We've been on an hour and 10 minutes. We'll get ready to shut it down in a minute. So, Jordan, any final thoughts?
yes. About Q4, when I was
I'm gonna
doing
play some music while we're
getting ready. Yeah. What I was gonna say for Q4, when I was working on the agency side, we would start preparing all the Q4 material starting Q3. So as soon as July 1st would hit, we would begin the whole process. So now we are near finishing August, September. So if you have not prepared for Q4, the big box companies are 2 months ahead of you. So don't sleep on it. Because it is my goal for all the small businesses to kick the big box chains in the butt. So get on
it. And big added point to that is a lot of people in small business don't think they have a chance against level playing field. And the truth is, you can be a lot leaner and get a lot of more quicker messages out than what corporations have to go through all their compliance to get advertising and things out. You can be into it. You can be lean and mean underneath the machine, as we used to say. So you can get it out quicker, faster, because you can make decisions about your business today.
Yes. And you have something a big box company doesn't. You have a face.
No like and trust, baby. No like and trust, right?
Exactly.
All right. So today was we got another comment. Hang on. We better, okay. Thanks. Have to run. Enjoyed today. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate y'all listening in. It's always nice to have comments during the show, right, Jordan? So.
Oh, yes.
Anyhow, this is what we like to do about every 5-6 weeks, but we're booked through October, so you won't see us come back to talk a show like this unless something comes up and we can't get a fill in or something like that, or a customer gets into a jam, or one of us has something come up we got to take care of family wise, whatever. We are booked. We'll see y'all next Thursday, 2:00. 2:00. Whoever's on will not have to go through the prep like we did today.
Well, not a live prep. We'll do a offline prep.
That is absolutely correct. All right, everybody. Goodbye. Have a great day. See you next Thursday, 2:00.
Bye, y'all.